Okay, here is my second screen recording. And again, looking at the topic of why some schools encourage online classes for their students and why some schools do not. I found an interesting thing on the news last night. They were talking about snow days going away because even though if you have a snow day, there are districts that have the one-to-one technology, so they just have their students log in that day and have an online class session instead. And they were interviewing students around the area as to what they thought that would, if that would be a great idea or not. Most of them, of course, said no. But that's one of the reasons I think that school districts would start to incorporate technology. So let's see. Online with snow days. I just thought that was really interesting that that happened to come up. And let's also bring up our notes so I can add to my notes as well. Computer is just slow today. Very slow. Doesn't even want to go into my thing. Oh. Let's open it up again. Yeah, so, and then they talked about the districts around here. The reason they couldn't really incorporate that idea was because they don't have one-to-one technology currently. They have students who don't have internet access or don't have a computer, so they couldn't ask students to participate online when they had a snow day. So that's what I was going to add in my notes. No more snow days. And actually that was on our local news station. I just know that that came from this news. And let's see if I can find it. If they have other. Trying to find where that would have been. See if they have it somewhere. Because, I mean, it is a interesting idea. Nope. A little music there for them. Well, I'll just put a note out here. And that was from... Alright. Excuse me. So let's see if they have anything else about. No. Let's see if this has something on it. So now they sneak up on classes. Some way to collaborate. No. Well, one can just go back and... Let's see. College careers. Operation. Let's see. This one is more like a team effort, solo race. This doesn't really have any of those other. Let's see. Let's see. What we go with this? Charter, why choose? Online learning. Yeah, tailored to fit your schedule. Online communication. I don't know. Let's see what's else out there. Benefits of online learning. And that might be another reason why some places choose to, is because they don't have the facilities to allow students to take certain classes. They may have a certain amount of interest in a subject, but just not enough to actually hire a teacher to do that kind of course. So they could look at, pairing up with another school and doing it virtually. We even do that with our centers throughout the states. If they have like 3 or 4 students that want to participate in a course that's offered, say they're a Texas student, but they want to take the course that's offered on our campus in Florida or Michigan, but it's not usually a course that's online, we'll just make it virtual, and those students then they still come to a class, but it's a virtual classroom and sit down, and then they interact with the students on the other campuses of Florida or Michigan. And so therefore we're only paying one teacher to basically teach 2 kind of face-to-face courses. That could be just an idea of an offer variety of classes when pairing with other schools online. Let's search on that and see what we get to. Of course, I spell it wrong again. Online education and gifted students. That's a idea. No, I don't. Thank you. How we stack up against the rest of the world. Looking for ways to supplement their gifted child. Yeah. Organization, parents, and others. So again, that kind of goes with, you might have students. A few gifted, talented students who would benefit from taking a more advanced level course, but you don't have enough to actually create a whole nother class for them. But you could allow them to partake in courses virtually and online to enhance their skills and engage in more beneficial learning to them. And that could be a great way to. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a good idea. Let's see. Offering a variety of classes online for gifted and talented students. See what we have there. Mhm. It's all about different places that look like they offer that kind of program, which there seems to be quite a bit. Yep. Again, just talking about how this would give them the ability to pair with students of their same academic level and could be challenged and not feel like they just have to be left to the same coursework as other students their age. I mean, it's kind of the same, when you think of like sports. If you feel that your child needs to be placed on a different team, travel, to another city or whatever, even if they to play the sport for that team. No different for, it should be no different for school if you got to make it so that your students achieve and give them the opportunity, even though you might not have a huge need for it, at least you could find a way through online. Let's see if I can think of any other. Let's see if I just use this sentence. Sorry. How students. I think even with getting faculty to do and help with online courses, one of the main problems is that time management strategy, just not knowing how to gauge an activity that a student you can't see is doing, how long it takes. I mean, is it going to be too much time, not enough time? In the classroom, you can visually see it and make adjustments. Online, you don't know. Maybe I should change it. Steps to encourage schools. Steps to encourage schools to use online classes. Let's see what we get from that. I don't know. This doesn't seem. Let's see what we have here. 24 ways to encourage teamwork in schools. Let's see. Most modern schools together figure out how to encourage teamwork. Can I click on the magnet? Oh, I can. Is that what it does? Doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. Not what I was thinking it was going to be. Okay. Let's see. What is this? Technology. Connected. Come on. Model for learning that holds. I mean, that's, I guess, one of the things, too, that went along with the snow day as to why they don't, is they just don't have the ability. Don't have the ability or technology available to allow students to take online courses. That would be one of the big things, too, as to why they don't do that. Let's see. Let's see if we have any others in here. Let's see. Modern day educator, education tools. Talk about. We're just going to go back. Copy just gets something going. Something else. I feel like I've seen most of these websites already. Blending how brick and mortar schools taking advantage of online. You learn differently. Talking about blended classrooms. See different models. More virtual. Talking about different types of online learning programs, different models you can use. For all subjects on a flex or rotational basis, reaching a diverse audience and focus on producing college or career graduates. Regardless of amount. So they talk about encouraging it because you do have students with different activities, whatnot, that they need to have a more flexible schedule, and they can achieve that by doing an online course instead of just doing the normal face-to-face because they can do it at their own time. Yeah, students who are homebound, hospital treatment. This is a good info too. And credit recovery. That's, again, kind of going back to that other part that I talked about in my other screencast, was how that school had, when you look at the amount of dropouts and graduation rates, and how can you increase that and solve that issue. And one way was giving those students the opportunity to take online classes to finish their degree, especially when they're in neighborhoods and areas that are not safe for them to walk to school every day. Flexibility gives administrators, and that's a good point too, gives administrators better data to monitor the activity. Yeah, that's interesting too. I mean, since you can't visually see them, you have to make sure that all their progress is somehow documented, and it probably could give you a little more increase in monitoring their data. That's interesting. Dynamic student grouping. And that's on the other aspect too of, on the flip side of the gifted and talented, teachers can also have the groups that need additional help and can work with those students online as well to get them more activities to build up their skill level and become successful as well. Sure. More one behind. Different ways they do it. Looking at an online schedule, it looks like, to show how they're going to be spacing out their time. And even though you're talking online, it's still structured in an hourly time fashion. Online resources. Role. Funding programs. Good. Cold is kicking my butt this week. Again, talking about being anywhere, showing different implementing of how you can implement it. Nope. Don't want to print it. So let's see some case studies. So it sounds like they put it in place for students who needed to retake a class so they could get it and still stay on track for graduation. Excuse me. That's what I wanted to click on. When for students use it now. So kind of just talking more about that. All right. Let's see what else. Educating everybody's child. Tracking. Okay. Now, let's see. What do we have here? Few questions. Let's see. How many of those? Hmm. Um, Public schools reforming. Not. And let's see. Teaching in world of virtual. Yeah, high. See what else I can get out of this. Maybe it's just my cold, but having a hard time going through a lot of this right now. Education reform. I mean, really, when I think of it, it's a matter of your infrastructure, your ability to produce the technology and tools needed to make it successful. Do you have teachers who are willing to be a part of it? Do you have parents who are willing to have their students be a part of it? And do you have a need for it? If you don't have all that almost in a whole grouping, the chances of it being successful or being able to implement it in your district is probably slim. Just because 80% of your students do have access to technology or the ability to use it at home means that you still have 20 that aren't, and so therefore you're not going to be able to do it. And I mean, with most districts, even around here, money is an issue. They don't want to talk about figuring out how to try and squeeze more money out of a district that they already feel is hurting, and talking about increasing some other part of it while they feel that they've had to make cutbacks in other areas. So what is this one? Yeah, evaluating online learning challenges and strategies. Governance. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, all the massive amounts of info. The day teaching in a one-to-one schoolhouse, no longer physical space, computers and internet, broken through school walls. Although online learning is a recently new enterprise, expanding rapidly, more students choose to participate and being held accountable for their results. And that again goes with, you got to make sure that what you're teaching online is equivalent to what you teach in the classroom, and how can you measure those standards. You have a whole blank page. So, yep, we're having development. And at the college level, we've experienced this as well in my current work too. Just knowing how you can evaluate and actually show that the learning has taken place and in the appropriate time and manner that it should, since you physically cannot see them. It's in the guide. Yep, programmers, all that good stuff. State all that. I mean, even here, there's some cost. I mean, you talk about a district needing, already in the red for funding, and definitely have to look at convincing people it's worth it, or finding other means through grants, funding, business cooperations with having like a mentor for your technology. Just all those can go and cause issues with actually making it successful and implementing it into your curriculum. I think, yeah, just up here, like the solving data collection problems, finding appropriate comparison groups. Those are just normal. Um, the multiple demands, summative, yeah, all those good stuff. Let's see. College. Online learning has expanded. So yeah, just again, it's just talking about needing, if you have, how you implement the resources that you have, and just making sure that you get a successful program. You can have all the money, but if you don't have the ability to actually say how it's going to work, or be able to evaluate it, make sure that it's appropriate and actually producing the outcomes you need, then it's not going to be successful and it's not going to work. So this concludes my second screencast. Thanks.